Like, you got so many numbers wrong that I literally had to spend like an hour editing it. Welcome back to Filling You In. I'm Coco, and with me is my co-host Subash. And today we've got, I don't even know.
All right, listen, here's the idea for this episode. Just going straight into it, dude. We're on episode 10. This is a monumental number for us, 10 episodes. There are 10 individual podcast episodes we have up. Also today, the day we are recording, which is August 8th, today could be considered another time we've messed up, but today, August 8th, marks 1 month since episode 1 was released.
Damn.
Episode 1 was released on July 8th. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, everyone, for all the support since we started. Even if you're like our friend, like, we appreciate it regardless. But yeah, today basically, guys, we're gonna be talking about times we've messed up. All right, times, and this is specifically in this podcast because we could go into detail on the world.
So we're
like,
just gonna go through the podcast episodes, like if there are errors and things like that.
Yeah,
like we're just gonna cover it.
First thing, the Jack from Town episode. We got a lot of really great feedback from you guys, and we appreciate it 100%. Whether it was in our Instagram DMs at FYI Podcast, go follow us there, like right now. Get off, go follow. Or in our YouTube comments, or to us personally. We really appreciate it, and everything you guys send to us, we take into consideration. Just everything, and we really appreciate it. Basically, what the rundown of that situation. There was an audio issue. It just happened. We didn't catch it while we were recording, or we might have heard it. We didn't really suspect anything, but eventually, the podcast was downloaded and we heard it in the actual individual recording, and we tried to fix it and we couldn't. And initially we would not ever release a podcast with an audio issue like that, but because, you explain why we released it.
Yeah. Okay. So pretty much, like, I got to take responsibility for that because that was pretty much my fault. I'm the only one that's able to hear myself, because I have like GarageBand open up so I can hear myself and I can hear them too. And I sort of caught it, but I didn't say anything. And so really that led to the audio being messed up. It was so much Googling, like, what can we do? We're seriously throwing on like,
and this is at like 3. This is at like 2 to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, the episode's dropping the next day, like that day.
That day.
Yeah.
And so, we're throwing on like equalizers, and I don't even know like what you would call it, but we're throwing on all these like effects to try and make it sound better, and we couldn't do anything. Really what it came down to was the content was so good, and Jack is such a fantastic interviewee. That we couldn't get rid of it.
And we did. We couldn't not release that. It was, and even if we're like, we wouldn't not release that. Like, it was just too good. And obviously we respect Jack so much for taking his time out of his day for doing that. So we would have released it no matter what. And I think if you haven't listened to that episode, even if you listen to like a minute of it and you're like, I can't listen to this, skip to literally an hour into the podcast. It gets better, drastically better, in fact. And I would say definitely it's a lot more listenable, but even if you can still stick through that entire beginning, it gets a little bit rough at sometimes, but it's so good. It's such a great conversation.
The content was so fantastic. It was like, we're not getting rid of this. I don't care if like he cuts out every other second, the content and just like the way he tells his stories and things like that, and answers questions and the questions being asked, it was too good to get rid of. And we're just like, no. But that the audio wasn't just the only problem we had with the episode. Subash, you wanna talk about it?
Yeah. So I was in charge of editing this episode. Downloaded it on my computer. I've been using this computer for a really long time, and I don't have an external hard drive for it because I'm too lazy to do that, and I just didn't have one on hand. Ran out of storage, wasn't able to edit the full episode. Texted Coco at 1 a.m. Hey, sorry, I can't edit. Literally can't. Tried everything. Can you edit it? Yeah, my fault. my fault.
Actually, I don't think it was one. I think what happened was we don't like to edit at like super early in the morning, because if we can't produce good work at that time, And so what happened was,
Yeah,
I think
we're tired. Yeah.
like we went to sleep late, and so you were supposed to be like editing it like around 12 and then like send it to me and for revisions and stuff like that, and we would get it up. And so I think you at like 3 p.m. I was cleaning my room and stuff like that, and you text me, you're like, dude, I just spent a couple hours editing this thing just
Yeah,
because we listened through the entire
I
thing.
even
Yeah.
finished the episode. I finished editing the whole thing, and I wouldn't let me post it, bro.
Yeah, and it's not like we're making huge cuts. It's just we're listening through it, and he's like trying to fix the audio and things like that, which is why it took so
And
long to
also
edit.
it was like a almost a 2 hour like
Yeah,
file, like bro.
yeah. And so he texted me at like 3 p.m. while I'm cleaning my room. Coco, I don't know what to do. Can you take it? I'm like, whatever, I'll just do it. And so I go, I edit it, right? So I export the file, and my Wi-Fi's down. My Wi-Fi was down because
Oh
I don't
my
even know.
god.
Like, I don't even know. It was being spotty all week, and it was just down. So at the time where I need to get this file up for the thing, it doesn't work. And so I tell my mom, like, Mom, I got to get this thing up for tomorrow. And she's like, okay, let's go to Starbucks. And so we go at like 7, and Starbucks closes at 7:30. And so we go there. I'm sitting in Starbucks, I don't order a drink yet. And so I'm waiting for
Yeah.
this thing to upload. And I wait there for 25 minutes, right? I'm
Yeah.
drinking my Starbucks drink and things like that. And it's at 7%. 26 minutes, and it's at 7%. And they're
Yeah.
closing. And so I just shut my computer. I walk out the door. I'm like, I have no clue what we're gonna do. Because not only do we post to YouTube, but we post to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and that's a whole different separate thing. And
Yeah,
so I need
there's a
to,
lot of different
yeah,
parts to uploading, and we'll do it definitely do an episode, in the future, breaking down everything it took to get to where we are.
yeah,
Um, look
episode
forward to that.
25.
No, maybe episode 25, calling it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
possibly.
and so
Yeah,
I go home, right? I drive home, and I open up my computer. Boop, boop, boop. It's slowly like going up. I'm
yeah,
like, what
yeah.
the heck? My Wi-Fi is back. And so pretty much I open up my computer, I just leave it there. I pray to God that it's gonna work. I pretty much go and I go to get dessert. Like I go with my family to go get dessert. And so we drive and we go get dessert, and I come back and it's uploaded. And I texted Watch, I'm like, we're good. And then I upload to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, and we made it.
We made it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a nice voice crack there.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely a nice situation we're never gonna forget, and a situation we're gonna at all costs avoid in the future,
yeah,
because
yeah.
that was an ass situation. That was terrible, for both of us trying to get that up. Especially, it was such a big episode for us. So
I mean, yeah. I
yeah.
Another mess up. We've had a lot, but is this episode? I mean,
This episode we're recording right here.
gosh,
Listen, guys, it's August 8th. We're trying to drop this episode on the 9th, which is tomorrow, which is in
yeah.
2 hours, an hour, 20
Not even
minutes.
an
Not
hour,
even,
20
not even.
minutes.
And I take responsibility. I had a busy day, busy week, literally, and we really didn't. Well, Coco was, but I wasn't really thinking that hard about the episode, and I didn't really know what to say or do or talk about. So yeah.
Dude, so like pretty much we're all burnt out and stuff like that. Like really just didn't feel the motivation to, get this episode
Well,
done.
I don't think we
So
didn't feel the motivation. I think it's just we didn't know what to talk about. Like we normally prepare for episodes like days before they're recorded, but we were both busy. Like we're not like sounds stupid, but we're recovering from the Jack episode, and like also like thinking about other things for the podcast. And
yeah, I mean, we got
yeah.
school coming up and things like that. And so, yeah, the podcast just wasn't like the only thing on our mind. And so I had this concept over the weekend where we're just going to go and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things. I called it open mic. And to be honest with you guys, we were filming that for about
Yeah, we
45
filmed that,
minutes before
for
this.
about 40 minutes, and
Uh,
then we're like, and we
yeah,
just and we talked, and we spent like 10 minutes talking about a mess up, and we're like, dude, cut the whole thing. I think we should talk about uh our mess ups, everything that we've done so far, especially in our episodes that have either been controversial or literally in post production that we've messed up about, because they're kind of, yeah, you might find it interesting. I don't know. And So
I
yeah,
mean, at
here we
least to
are.
us, it's interesting. I mean,
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that it's not really a mess up, but it's something that we've both, or more me
it's a
really,
lesson.
have come. It's no wait, it's something like not to accept, but like not a lesson. I don't know what the word is, but it's like a fact. Really, it's like I think a lot about like what people would be interested in, but also like if we have to be interested in the topic too. We're never gonna talk about something that we aren't passionate about talking about, or that we literally don't want to talk about at all, because then we're not having fun while doing it. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I was like, when I was thinking about today's episode, I was like, why are people going to click on the episode? But I was like, they'll click on it if they like us, if we have, something interesting we're talking about. But I mean, yeah, no, I think it's a good idea, and it's something we'll definitely do in the future when we've kind of developed the idea a little bit more. Because again, literally an hour ago, we were planning to record today. So, no, it makes the conversations better when you haven't like hyper plan them. But
Yeah.
and none of our episodes are scripted. They aren't scripted down to the core when it comes to like what we're saying sentence, not sentence by sentence, but like because basically how we do it is it's like we'll have the topic and then we'll have like bullet points of things we just want to bring up. And
Yeah.
the reason we do this is so that like it's not to like make the conversation not seem natural, but it's like there's points that we don't want to forget when we're talking about. But literally the content of each topic that we're like each like subtopic, it's all natural.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so pretty much we don't have pauses. Like we bring up a topic and then we have to
Yeah,
think
we,
like
we
what are we
don't
going
have
to talk
super
about
long
next?
pauses. Yeah.
Um yeah, I mean, the first episode was pretty smooth sailing, right?
Yeah, I was actually impressed with our first episode,
Wait.
social media.
No. That wasn't actually okay. So what happened was our first actual episode. What
Oh
happened
yeah.
was we're trying it out. We're just like, okay, let's just hop into what we're recording. Let's just try out and see how this goes. And so I think we just spent like an hour just like
Mm.
randomly talking about like social media and stuff like
Dude,
that.
it was a good conversation, but it just seemed a little unnatural. Like now I'm getting a lot more used to like this because it feels a little bit more natural and I
Yeah.
feel a little more like comfortable, right? But like the first episode just felt weird, like sitting here with like this mic right here and like the camera. Well, we didn't have our camera on, but like still, it just felt weird. Like now I feel a lot more natural, and you guys
Yeah.
can definitely, if you guys listen, you can hear the development. And like, dude, I was the one editing social media episode 1. There was so much cutting. Like I was cutting every little thing because we were like stuttering and didn't know what to say, dude. We didn't know what to say. Like we really didn't, and we didn't have any flow. Even though we had a script, like it wasn't as maybe as fluid as our current episodes.
Yeah. I mean the amount of editing and stuff has gone down. And for those of you like, why do we
In a
edit?
good way, in a good way, in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, and for those of you wondering like why we edit, I mean, when we go on
We have
tangents,
pauses.
you don't want to listen to it because we'll go
Yeah,
on
we go into
tangents
tangents, especially
wild.
with yeah,
Yeah, they're like
like
so far out, way off the topic.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
we're cutting it because we don't want you to like pretty
Get
much,
bored.
yeah,
Yeah,
be like,
you
what?
literally. Yeah, like what? Where? How do we get from this to this?
Like, when people are talking and
Yeah.
everybody's in this group conversation, someone just says something like random, and it's like, what? That's
Vibe
kind of
kill,
like
eh?
what happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why we edit. Other stuff is like pauses or technical difficulties. But other than that, we pretty much give you like the full conversation regarding to that topic. Yeah, I mean, episode 1 was definitely a big milestone because of the whole thing.
We got something out. Like
Yeah.
we got something out into the world. I think I'm ready to talk about the next mess up. I'm going into our episode catalog right now
Yeah.
because I I just want to look at things because it'll trigger memories in my
Hmm.
brain. So give me 1 second. If you guys are on Spotify, follow us right now. We really appreciate it. Um, every single follower everywhere matters. But if we go into our episode on, we're gonna jump up a little bit, and it's where we ranked all the Marvel movies. Um, I got backlash. I got people in my like our friends in my DMs like for my Guardians of the Galaxy take. For those of you who didn't listen to the episode, if you go to episode 7, we ranked all the Marvel movies. Go check it out. It's a great episode, regardless. But basically, What I said was, I think, and I stand by it. I'm not saying I'm stand
Dude's
by
a
it. The
jokester over here.
Guardians of the Galaxy, entire series. What I basically said was it was terrible, and it is. It's terrible. It's the worst show in the MCU. It's the worst franchise. Nobody likes it. Everyone thinks they're annoying, and I got flamed for it in my DMs. That was, bro. It wasn't like three people, and I'm sure like three people. That's three people, but like three people took the time to message me and say your opinion was bad. Like, what are you saying? And it's not, bro. It's not. It's so valid. Nobody likes the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I don't want to get into that debate, but that was just something that was interesting. And no, I guess like I don't know if I shouldn't have not said that, but like it
It's the
was
greatest
so
Marvel movie, period. I'm spoiling
it's
that
so
episode. It's the
bad.
greatest Marvel movie.
It's
You're wrong.
so
You have no clue. Some
bad.
other people may have it here
It's
and there, top five.
terrible.
But yeah,
No one
you know
likes
I'm
it,
speaking
bro.
facts. You know I'm speaking facts.
Nobody.
You know I'm speaking facts. Yeah, but
You
another
actually
thing that
are
was wrong
though.
with that the was the numbers. And so like saying numbers here and there. Like I spent
Our ranking, yeah.
well, here's the thing. It wasn't really me. Like
Yeah,
maybe like at the beginning I
no.
was like,
It was
fourth from
me.
last or whatever.
So I did it. I basically had mine in a tier list. I like tier listed all the movies
Like A, B, C, and
and
D, right?
yeah, but also at the same time, I was like not even gonna lie, like mid episode, I was like arranging which ones I was gonna put, like because I didn't really know what I was doing. And then also, if you guys know what a tier list looks like there's no numbers. It's really like just literally look up a tier list. But like I didn't number each thing, so I was like counting in the row of like the category, like which one the movie we were talking about was. I was like messing up the numbers.
Yeah, so I pretty
Um,
much spent an hour fixing your numbers and stuff like that. Like I would like you would tell your thoughts on it first, and I'd have to cut it, and then stick it behind when I say, okay, my number 7 is because you got so many numbers wrong that like you got so many numbers wrong that I literally had to spend like an hour editing it. It was pretty nuts, like honestly. But I mean, whatever we have to do for the episode is fine. Like honestly, that was
anything,
probably
bro.
one of our favorite episodes.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, of course, bro. It
Yeah.
was such a good episode. I mean, and we'll say that about like literally every episode. And if the thing is, if we don't say that about every episode, then there's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, and I always like, I'm always like, this is our best episode. No, this is our best episode. Each episode is good in its own way. But the Marvel episode was good because it's something that I think we both talked about. But also for us, it was slightly an eye opener because there were things in there that we didn't know we thought about the MCU, each other.
Yeah. Like your stupid take on Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's so bad.
Stop lying. Stop lying.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I mean, I don't
bad.
know. Like I'm just looking at oh my gosh. Like honestly, some of these things aren't even mess ups, but like as I don't know if Subash talked about it in like this section or like when we're talking about like open mic, when we're in like open mic like 45 minutes ago. So but he went on a trip and he came back last week, and so pretty much like the lead up to that, like oh my god, we were grinding so hard.
Let me
Go ahead.
The way I put it is it's like we recorded 6 out 7. No, literally 8 because some episodes went like including pauses, including periods of time where we were literally just talking about the episode we were going to talk about. Probably 8 hours worth of sitting like this talking. Not that we don't enjoy it, but and it was over 3 days. In 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days. I left on a trip. I was not gonna be able to record while I was gone. I didn't want to. Like I was on vacation. Like I didn't want to like you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to. So I was like, let's stack these episodes. So every episode up to Jack's episode.
Yeah.
From episode 4.
I think
Is it episode 4?
Yeah, 4 to
every 4 to 6.
Nelk.
No,
4 to Nelk. Episode 4, which was streaming services, all the way to Nelk.
Yeah.
So that's Samsung versus Apple, Marvel rankings, living in Hawaii. All those were like what lucky for us, like we weren't on camera in those, so like, but if you were, we're probably in the same shirts because we're just going like we'd film one episode, we'd go back to back to back. I mean, after
In
that,
that, yeah,
yeah,
in the I don't know, in the Marvel episode, the cold open for it was like me, like I was like talking like this is I literally like I was like, dude, what I
yeah,
wake
yeah,
up
yeah.
every morning and I
I'm
want to
pretty sure everybody
be.
knows what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, but I was like, you can tell I was absolutely exhausted. We've been talking for so long, and I was like still passionate about talking, but
Yeah,
like I was tired. And we were recording at like 1 a.m. that night because we weren't sure if we were gonna like how the episode structure was going to work, but we needed one more episode, and I was leaving. Or
yeah, yeah.
still, point is, we needed to record that, and it was just we were. I don't know about you, but I was like tired. I still
Dude, I was
provided,
dead.
and I think we still put on a show, obviously, but like we were tired, bro.
I was so dead. I was like,
Hmm.
I don't want to do any editing for like the rest of like 2 weeks now. Like we just
Hmm.
did this 6 episodes, 3 days, like script all the way, like Bart, when I say script, I mean like outline sort of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
script, ideation and like recording and editing, or not editing, but recording in 3 days. It was
It was a grind, but I think like that's necessary, especially when one of us are, or especially when we're gonna go back to school. We're probably gonna end up stacking one or two episodes just because we want to figure out how the flow works as far as
yeah,
recording, because we don't have our schedules yet.
yeah.
If our school is listening, please release them. But we don't have our schedules yet, so we don't know. Or we don't even know how intense our classes are gonna be yet, so we don't know how homework is gonna work, stuff like that. We will.
Yeah.
It's no matter what, guys. We are going. I'm saying it right here now. We are going to get 2 episodes out a week. I am going to push both of us to make sure it happens
Blood, sweat,
because
and tears. I mean, you're seeing it now. Like seriously, we're about one hour out of when, like the day of this is gonna
yeah,
be
we are
released.
1 hour. We're 1 hour out of the day we're gonna release this episode. Like,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this on the day it's released, hi from maybe 5 hours ago. Like, literally, bro.
Yeah.
It's a situation we don't want to be in. But like, if we didn't care about this, we would not be sitting here this late recording,
Yeah.
and getting this done. But no, for sure, we're gonna figure that out. We're dedicated to this, and I think something that when we're talking about not maybe mishaps, but like when you guys really work on something for a really long time, especially like a sport, you get burnt out. Like you're like, I hate this, I don't want to do this. But for both of us, it's like when one of us will get burnt out, like we'll force the each other, not force, but like encourage each other to keep pushing on. And for me, I get burnt out easily, especially after like doing something for a while. Like I'll get burnt out. I do. And especially having Coco here to help me like push forward and keep going. Like literally, bro, it's helpful. It's super helpful. And be like, we're recording tonight, because like I'm not gonna be like, no, like I want to do my part. Like, yes, I will be there, see you tonight.
Yeah.
Like, oh, get this done, I'm gonna get done. And I think the same goes for the other way around. I'm not saying you get burnt out easily, but it's like we're there to check each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think I hit a certain like threshold, and like after that, oh god, like boom, we can go until I can't, and then
Yeah.
boom, all the way down. I think probably the funniest like mistake was
What was it?
so we're filming this Marvel thing, right? And you're getting to like your top picks of Marvel movies and stuff like that, and you're like super passionate. You're like talking about this, like you're like, this movie, this is the greatest Marvel movie ever. In fact, I can tell you the day it came out. And then
Ah! It was Infinity War.
yeah, and so you're talking about Infinity War, and you're like, I can give you the exact date. And so I wanted to fact check that, like when I was editing it, and you're like
Yeah.
August
Hold on.
27 or something like that when it was. And so I searched it up, and it said April 27. I was like, okay, we're cutting this because
Bro, I was like, here. Wait. I think I have. Did I say it in the video?
dude, it
Wait,
was so
hold on.
funny.
Dude, this would be so funny. Exact date, August 29th, 2018. Avengers Infinity War released. He pulls up the date. And it's the wrong date. It was the wrong date, bro. It
Yeah,
was
so
the
he's out here
wrong
like,
date.
this is the greatest Marvel movie ever.
Jeez, dude.
I was so hyped. I have this date ingrained in my brain. And then he gave the wrong date.
Yeah, for
Oh my
sure.
gosh.
Yeah, I was wrong about that.
I mean, that's just some of the stuff we edit out because, I mean, to save face, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's been pretty crazy so far. This, this whole podcast experience. Um, we've definitely made a lot of errors, but we've learned a lot. And I mean, episode 25, we're gonna like reveal
Yeah, episode 25.
way
We're
more
gonna
because we're gonna
we're gonna
talk
go we're
about,
gonna go down into the details of every single thing it took to start this podcast.
and it
And I
goes years
don't I
back.
bro, and it goes years back. And we're gonna get into how we like, not to sound like weird, but like how we met each other, like everything. And like, no, but like literally, because it contributes to everything. It impacts this whole story. And I really don't want to go into it because I think it's really
Dude,
cool.
episode 25, it's gonna be a
Episode
complete
25.
banger.
If you're listening right now,
Yeah.
stay till episode 25. And that's 15 episodes away, but we're calling it because we're that dedicated to keeping this going.
Yeah.
And if you guys are dedicated with us, like, follow along. Like, we love to have you guys. So,
Yeah.
support us everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
I
trying
mean,
to plug us. Shameless plug, eh?
we just really want to say thank you to all the listeners out there. I mean, relatively, we don't have many followers and things like that. I mean, a couple days ago, we had like 20 Instagram followers, 20
Yeah.
subscribers, and things like that. But I mean, we're growing every single day. I was talking to
Yeah.
my cousin the other day. He's like, where do you see the podcast in 2 years? And, I told him bigger than it is today. And jokes on
Mhm.
him because that goal was accomplished like a couple days ago. So,
Facts.
I don't even have to worry about it. But yeah, I mean, we're here, we're working on it, and
Every
we're
day
gonna
is
try our
growth, bro.
best. Yeah.
Every day is growth. You know, we're putting our all into this, and it's something both of us are so deeply passionate about. Like, it may not seem like I don't know. There's just a lot that we've talked about, especially in the future, that we might go into on episode 25, but we don't want to like spoil the future. I know it sounds stupid, but like, we want when we announce the things that we have planned. I think you guys it'll be cool. If this goes how we want, if this goes how it will go, um, it'll be crazy, and we're really excited. And I think the thing that's really cool about both of us too is our ideas are so much bigger than us, and it's what makes this whole thing super cool because we're both, like, not trying to sound like weird, but like, we're both visionaries. Like, we vision things, like we vision what we want to see happen, and we make it happen. Which is something that's it's like a gift and a curse. You know what I mean?
And I mean, yeah, so really just thank you guys for tuning in, sticking around. You're gonna see the podcast develop from this episode all the way to episode 25. We're hoping to get some more awesome guests on.
Yes,
That's
for sure. 100%. We need guys. If you guys know anyone in your communities that are doing things that are not life changing, but having strong impacts, and you think that they would make a really great interview and have a really great conversation, message us at FYI podcast _ But yeah, any more mistakes that you can remember?
yeah. Yeah, this one was on me. This was the streaming services episode. What happened was you brought up that you wanted to discuss Hulu. And my understanding of Hulu at the time was it was like TV
Yeah,
on your phone, TV in an app. And so
like
pretty
a
much what
cable
it
box,
was,
kind of.
yeah, a cable box on your phone. And so I was like, no, we don't have to discuss it. I was wrong because not only is it also like cable on your phone, but it also has original content and things like that. And the documentaries on there, like I was checking some of them
Oh, it's
out,
fantastic.
dude,
It's
super
amazing.
highly produced and super awesome content. And I completely missed on
Yeah.
that one. Normally I should have been informed. Like I literally searched it up too. Like that's the thing. I searched it up and I was still confused. So I mean that was an error. That was on me. Um it's a big end of the world, not really, but I mean, as an error. But other than that, we're going to be getting a lot more into things like this in episode 25. So to all you listeners out there, be sure to stick around because this is going to be, you know, It's gonna be fun.
You're in for a wild ride for sure, for sure. All right, guys. We have come to the end of today's episode. A really quick one. Sorry if this was disorganized or anything, but we hope we entertained you guys, maybe informed you guys about what's going on. If you guys are listening on YouTube right now, drop a like down below as well as subscribe. We really appreciate it. And comment something. Comment your favorite part, something you thought was funny, something that made you laugh. Lol. Let us know down below. If you guys are on Spotify, drop a follow. If you're on Apple Podcasts, write a review. Can be just the 5 stars. There's a little stars down below if you're on your phone, or write us some kind words in the text box because the world will see it.
Yeah, and I mean, if we missed any errors that you guys caught, drop it in the comments below. And with that being said, thank you for allowing us to fill you in, and we will see you in the next episode.